Hey, Loco Golf fans, it is still Heritage Week, and I am Justin Jarrett, joined by Wes Kerr for round two of the LowcoSports Loco Golf RBC Heritage Recap Show here for 2023. And that means we're halfway home, Wes. We got it all in today, unlike yesterday when a few guys were left out on the course. The weather held up today. It did pop a couple thunderstorms out here in Bluffton this afternoon, but everything stayed west of the island and clear of Harbor Town. So they're able to get everything in, and we saw a lot of birdies out there, especially early in the day. A bunch of people making charges, including Jimmy Walker, who surged out to the lead at 12 under par. And there was a time in that final round in the afternoon where you thought there were several people who might be able to make a run at him, but Harbor Town popped up and showed the teeth that it often does in the afternoon, with just the swirling winds starting to kick up a little bit, the greens drying out, get a little bit harder, and the players have said that the greens are very firm and fast. So with small greens, it's tough to keep it on. You've got to land it in the right spot. So nobody could really make any hay in the afternoon. So Walker takes a 3-shot lead into the weekend. And it's a great story because he was, kind of almost out of golf for a while and has really found his form here recently after getting the top 50 money list exemption, keeping his status alive. So he's in great shape, but there are a bunch of big names lurking on the leaderboard and a whole bunch of people within striking distance going into the weekend.
Well, obviously, this is far from over, but I'm very impressed by what Jimmy Walker is doing in this tournament through 36 holes. A guy who, I remember a few years back, he was right there near the top of the next couple points, year in, year out, so consistent on the golf course, and one of those names that found a way, of course, to get on top of a major championship and win that 2016 PGA a couple years back. But it's been a while for him, and he's been on the precipice of a tough kind of go at it in terms of potentially not maintaining that tour status, but getting the opportunity here. And he has really found something here at Harbor Town. And that is something you rarely see, an incredible feat to pull off back-to-back 65s to open up the tournament at 12 under par. That's something you do not see very often. It's his first in almost 400 starts with opening 65 or better in both those rounds, and something we don't really see very often at all at Harbor Town. That's some impressive stuff, the consistency that he's shown on the course. And looking through his first two rounds, what really stood out to me when I was eyeing those scorecards is, how well he did on the back nine. He is 8 under through his first two rounds exclusively on the back nine. And that's the back nine has normally been the toughest part of this course, but he's really, stayed the course the whole way. He's been putting very well. He's definitely taking advantage of some strong approach shots and putting together an excellent performance so far through 36 holes. Will it hold up? That's the question, because there are a lot of names lurking right behind them. Walker's sitting at 12 under, but you get Scotty Scheffler, Justin Rose, and Xander Schauffele all playing outstanding golf, 3 strokes back. You got to think at least one of them is going to try to make a charge or do so and creep up to Walker. Definitely going to be difficult to hold on to that advantage. He's 3 for 8 for lead after 36 holes, but the stars of the group behind him, they're going to find their groove and make a charge. But I agree with you in terms of the conditions. I got sued the players earlier on in the morning. We saw a lot of low scores in the early morning hours here at Harbor Town. And then when we got past noon, the course started to toughen up, and those fast, firm greens returned. Wind playing a bit of a factor. It looked ominous for a couple of minutes, or at least like about an hour. There was some dark skies around 2-3 o'clock, but eventually it cleared out and the rain kept away, which was great to see. Great to see us finish out the entire round and then be able to start playing tomorrow. But yeah, what we've seen from Walker so far, very inspirational. Just a fantastic story. Just to see a guy who really has been working to maintain his spot at this level of professional golf for a while, hasn't really found that groove that we saw from him, but rekindling some kind of magic so far this week. Will it continue? We'll have to see. A long way to go, but right now some impressive stuff for Jimmy Walker at the top here so far at Harbor Town.
Yeah, no question. And, looking at I'm always fascinated by the live tournament odds, because Walker's got a 3-shot lead going into the weekend, still only 6.6% to win, which is interesting. Scotty Scheffler's still the favorite there. But like you said, I mean, I've seen some marveling on Twitter that, Walker coming off the board, so to speak, in this kind of a field is pretty incredible. But that, he's only done half the job. And I think the more difficult task is holding off this kind of a field on the weekend. So, what's this leaderboard look like after moving day is going to be a totally different atmosphere. But certainly, with 17 guys within 5 shots, there's lots of potential for movement. And we've seen over the years at Harbortown that Saturday can be really wild. And even into Sunday morning, you'll see guys go out on a calm Sunday morning, throw up like a 65 or a 64, and all of a sudden people start backing up, and they're sitting on the clubhouse lead and starting to hang around the range, getting ready to hit balls. So it's never over here for sure. In large part because it tends to play easier in the morning, more difficult in the afternoon. So it lends itself to a comeback story. I remember Brant Snedeker going crazy early one year and playing himself into it. There's been lots of instances of that.
Now, to be fair, Stuart Sink showed how it was done to hold off that lead. Webb Simpson
put the pedal down.
but the field this year might be this. I mean, 2020 was strong, so credit to Webb Simpson. But the field this year, and especially the guys close to Walker, I think are as better as we've ever seen. So obviously, we've seen guys been able to maintain that sizable lead. Sink was able to do it. Really, he was kind of an underdog going in. A guy similar story, an older player that, of course, he's 1 year before, but certainly hasn't been on the best track record coming into the event. But Sink did show it is done. But I think it might be a different story here. It's just going to be very tough for Jimmy Walker to continue to hold off just an incredible group just behind him. But we'll see what Walker can do and what he's capable of showing us. The mindset and the mental game is so important. Are you conditioned enough mentally to hold a lead? He's done it before, but I mean, I think we're going to be in for a very interesting day tomorrow to see how he reacts to taking a big lead that we haven't seen him have in a while on tour.
Yeah, certainly. But, like you said, this is not a fly by night, just up and coming player who got into the field, on an obscure exemption and is making a run. This is a guy who has 6 PGA Tour titles. So he knows what it looks like to go finish it off. And we'll see if he can continue this form. I mean, 265s is really great. And like you said, eight birdies, no bogeys on the back 9 at Harbortown. He's striking it exceptionally well. And actually, if you look at the data golf stats, if we want to go ahead and take a little dip our toe into the numbers for a second, tee to green, he's plus 3.4 shots, which is among the leaders in that category. That puts him right up near the top. And a couple of guys who were among the leaders tee to green missed the cut. So that kind of tells you how important putting is here at Harbortown, certainly, because those greens can be tricky. And a couple of guys lingering right there, Victor Hovland and Aaron Rye, are both just 4 shots back, but they've both lost shots on the greens so far. So, maybe they figure those greens out a little bit on the weekend, or maybe they continue to flummox them and they're not able to make a charge, because you definitely have to be able to run one in there when you get an opportunity to make a birdie. You don't get that many chances. When you have one inside 15 or 20 feet, you need to be able to knock them down. And that's what Walker was able to really do today, was just make the ones that he had a chance to make, and then just take your 2 putts on the others. And he's doing a great job of it so far. But plenty of guys lurking out there, including one of our local connections, Brian Harmon, a Players Amateur champion and Savannah native, played at Savannah Christian Prep. He's right there. He shot 600 yesterday. He had the tougher end of the stick today in the afternoon and shot just 1 under. Hasn't really putted it that great, but he's striking it pretty well and managing to score. He's scraping it around. So he's right there in the mix. Who are some other folks in that that top 10 range that, within 5 shots that you think have a shot to really move tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the guys 3 shots back. Scotty Scheffler, I think, might be that guy you're going to want to watch, especially if he can get hot with the putter. I like what he did this past round. I think he kind of took a while to settle into this course and kind of how it's designed. And it's a difficult course. Certainly, punishes any bad shots to the left or the right of where you want to place them. And with all the tree lines and the wind and the small greens, it's a very tough challenge for even the best golfers in the world. I think Scheffler is, really starting to find his groove out there on this golf course. And I think if he can continue the same mentality that we saw today, especially around the greens, I think he's going to have a very solid shot here. I think Scheffler, alongside Walker, I think Scheffler is a great bet at this point. Strokes gained putting 3.33 today, so he was hot on the greens. His approach game was fantastic. If he can improve off the tee, which was kind of his only trouble spot, a couple of shots that weren't what he was hoping for, I think he is going to carry that momentum with his putter and look to make a charge. And we know he has them. He was, just before Rahm won the Masters, he was number 1 world golfer, and Rahm certainly, catching the fire as well. But I think Scheffler really has the maturity, all the tools in his bag, literally and figuratively, to win this tournament. And I think tomorrow's going to be a telling sign of what Scheffler is capable of going into the weekend. Got to see a little of Justin Rose. Impressed by his consistent play. A couple of really nice saves on the back nine. It looked for a couple holes around 16. He made a nice save a couple holes ago. He made another very solid save. Made a really nice birdie putt on 12. So he's taking advantage of the looks that he's getting. Playing some consistent, some tough, showing his mettle out there. I really love the approach that he is showing out there on the course. And another very experienced veteran. He has won a bunch of tournaments throughout the years. He's been competing well in majors. Very renowned, experienced golfer. So you expect him to stay in the mix. And you look at that group right at 8 under, Patrick Cantlay, energized by that hole-in-one on 7 late in his round.
Yeah, that was a beauty.
Really all day long was excellent. And he was rewarded with that ace near the end. Hovland, the rough day, but he was one of those guys that kind of came on late. He had to play late in the day. So for as much as he got an advantage for playing the morning on Thursday, maybe kind of evened out on Friday with some of those guys as Hovland kind of struggled a bit later on Friday afternoon into Friday evening, but sitting there right there at 8 under, and certainly a guy who can fire some low scores in a hurry. And then, of course, you got defending champ Jordan Spieth right there at -7. Very consistent golf. I like what I've been seeing from him. I think it really comes down to his putting stroke. We saw him today and yesterday. He's missed some putts where, that should have gone in, and that could be a difference sometimes. Can he have that, that strong stroke from hole to hole? But the way he's hitting the ball and the way he knows this golf course, I think he's gonna find a way to maintain a chance down the stretch. Then Matt Kuchar, it'll be a great story. He's been playing very well. I just don't know if that'll hold up. But good to see him, a couple shots back. But I don't think Kuchar's going to be able to hang on through the last 36 holes. But then you got Jon Rahm at -6. You cannot count him out. Yeah. I kind of did yesterday because he had it in him after that short time after winning the Masters. But he is back now. We had the low round today at 7 under par, 64. So obviously, the early morning helped him, but if he continues to find his rhythm like that and produce some of the numbers that we saw on Friday with Rahm, lights out really all the way around. Led the field today with a 6.09 strokes gained total. He was 3.4 from tee to green. Putting was excellent. His approach game was excellent. A lot to like from Jon Rahm after lackluster Thursday. I think he's back. I think he's found his groove again, and it's going to be fun to see what he does tomorrow.
Yeah, you wonder if he'll have enough gas in the tank, because he did say today that toward the end of yesterday's round he was feeling pretty tired, and obviously caught a second win today. But how long does it last? Does it get him through the weekend? It's just been a long grind, and certainly he's got the game. I mean, he throw up another 64 tomorrow and let's see what happens. But I wonder if he's got enough in the tank. And then kind of the same with Scheffler. I mean, he's and he's going to be number one next week, regardless of how they finish this week, which I won't pretend to understand the math of how that works. I think it has to do with what rolls off the back. Somebody has something, big point winner from 52 weeks ago that rolls off and it changes everything. But so Scheffler, they said in the PGA Tour notes, will be number one regardless. But that would be funny if Rahm wins it and Scheffler still jumps him. One of the weird anomalies of world golf rankings. But so Scheffler, he's still the favorite as you look at the live odds here. He's still the favorite to win, 17.5%, which has actually gone up significantly since the start of the tournament when he was the favorite at 10.7. Cantlay is still right there. Your guy is right in the mix. And then Xander Schauffele also in double digits. Walker, the leader, at 6.6, and then Hovland at 6.4. So we got a bunch of guys who are still in the hunt very much, and a number of others. Like I said, Spieth is right there, and Tommy Fleetwood goes out and shoots 6 under today to get to 8, which is a blast from the past, and a guy who has just always seemed destined to win here eventually. And then another one that I would mention is a resurgent Ricky Fowler, shot 3 under today, 7 under for the tournament. Another former Players Amateur champion, kind of trying to rediscover it. So good to see him playing well, and would love to see him get a good finish here. But
and then Xander Schauffele,
a bunch of great names there.
Schauffele making a nice birdie late in his round. He's at 12.2%. So got to think that he's gonna be a guy that could find a way to come from behind and win this thing. I saw him today. I saw him yesterday. He looks so confident hitting the ball. Love the way he approaches, striking the golf ball. Very accurate. He is another guy we've seen throughout these years finish very high in big events. No stranger to a moment like this. I don't know if he'll have what it takes to come out on top and win this, but I'm definitely expecting at least a top 10, top 5 from him. He's going to be right in the mix on Sunday. His game is too good not to be.
Yeah, no question. And there's a bunch of people that fit that category, you feel like. When you look at that, Justin Thomas, even at 5 under, you can see him going out and shooting 5 or 6 under tomorrow and getting in the mix. Matthew Fitzpatrick loves it here. He's sitting at 6 under. So you've got a number of people still well within striking distance going into what will be a terrific third round. Sorry, I lost my spot. What else strikes your fancy about this tournament so far, Wes?
I'm just thinking about what you said earlier. Is like if someone can put up a big number in the morning hours, maybe not even someone at the top or the top 10, top 20, but if one guy can put the pressure on, or at least say that you're going to have to continue to shoot well to win this tournament. I'm not sure who that will be yet, but I feel like somebody's going to make that move, and we could be in for a fun Saturday. We've seen that so many times before here at Harbortown. I mean, even earlier on in the day, I expect someone to really set the pace and take the reins in that sense. But you look back at this round and the second round of this tournament so far. 8 players shooting 6 under or better. So Rahm leading the way with the 64. 73 guys making the cut at 2 under or better. I don't remember the cut line being that that low of a score. I remember it always being around even par, 1 under. Correct me if I'm wrong, but 2 under.
No, yeah, we've seen it fluctuate a little bit, but that's a fairly low cut line.
Yeah, I mean that just speaks to the talent of the field. How the course was playing, I thought set up well for high score, for low scoring, but for major fireworks, including of course that hole-in-one by Patrick Cantlay, which hit the slope and ran down into the cup. Beautiful shot there, and third hole-in-one in his career for Patrick Cantlay. So congrats to him, and of course my pick coming in, and just love to see the smile on his face after draining that shot, and just really cool, to have a second straight year. I believe it was Corey Connors who had one on that same day a year ago.
Yeah, and they showed on the broadcast. I saw the Cantlay hole-in-one on the broadcast, and they showed the replay of the Connors one right before, and then it rolls right into Cantlay's tee shot, and he jars it. So it was pretty cool. Very cool. Yeah, Connors got a little help from a leaf. It got just a little tick from a leaf. Speaking of great plays on tough par threes, did you happen to see Jimmy Walker's Texas wedge from that went around the pot bunker at 14 and somehow made birdie from off the green?
I was watching Rose come in, but man, that is quite
it was bonkers. It was bonkers. I mean, he ran it right along the edge of that pot bunker and somehow kept the line, and it was something else. That was when you knew he was having a magical day.
Yeah, that's the beauty of watching it from TV. I mean, you get to see everybody back to back instead of
I'll tell you the truth. I couldn't pull myself away from it to take an hour to drive out there and then spend a couple hours and an hour to drive home. I just couldn't. The TV coverage is too good now. You can see it all day.
It's gotten to the point where, I mean, you used to, if you wanted to watch something in the morning, you had to go out there now they have ESPN Plus and PGA Tour Live, and you can watch featured groups and even like almost everybody around the course. It's pretty awesome to see the improvements that broadcasters and technology have made here on the PGA Tour, and haven't been able to deliver golf to everyone at any time in the round, which is cool to see. Great to see that for fans, and just more opportunities to see golf coverage. So that's pretty awesome. It's always fun to get out there, and it was amazing to witness, especially that group in the morning of Jon Rahm, Jordan Spieth, and Adam Scott. Scott kind of faded a little bit later in that round. Had a rough 15th hole, if I remember correctly, for Adam Scott. But man, they started out red hot. I believe the first 5 holes, they were all 4 under par. I mean, taking advantage of that morning window, they were just draining putt after putt. If you were there, it was some kind of magic for those first few holes. And talk about 3 Masters champions in one group. That's pretty cool to see here at the Heritage. To have Jon Rahm, who just won it, Jordan Spieth back a couple years ago, Adam Scott a couple years ago, and just really cool for the gallery, for the fans, and for those players to be playing together and to put on a show like that to start off the day.
Yeah, I mean that's the real amazing quality of this field that we have this year, from being the designated event. And I think it's a cool thing that they're doing, the PGA Tour is doing, and I suspect they will kind of rotate that around, so that it's not the same events every year, to try to get guys to go play some of those stops they don't ordinarily. But I think it's going to be really beneficial to those events in the long run, because I think a lot of guys like Scotty Scheffler, he's never been on this course before, but he goes out and he shoots 68, and then he busts out a 65 today.
Yeah.
And he starts going, man, why have I never played here before? I don't care if it's the week after the Masters. I can win here.
It's a shot maker's course.
It really is. And I think that some of those guys who just kind of wrote it off because of the place on the schedule, you force them almost, you almost force them to come here, and they go, wow, I'm coming back. So, I think it's going to be a good thing that will pay dividends down the road, and certainly has paid dividends this year. But lots of guys, you mentioned those guys who can make a charge early. I don't know how you could identify one, because you look at those guys who are, 4 and 5 under, and there's so many. Cameron Young, my pick to win. He had a tough first round. He's 3 under today. I can see him going out with a 65, 66. You all right, buddy? Did you save the laptop?
Yeah. 1 second.
Oh, good.
That's funny.
It's all good. We got to save the laptop. Save the laptop. I'll get him out of here. So we will hear from a quick word from our sponsors, and we'll be back with more here on the Loco Sports and Loco Golf live recap show for the RBC Heritage Round 2.
Hey, Loco Sports fans. This podcast and all of our grassroots local sports content are made possible by support from community sponsors, including Mickelson Law Firm, the official real estate attorneys of Loco Sports, and the presenting sponsor of our Hilton Head Christian Academy coverage. Our original sponsors are still among our greatest supporters. Ryan and Tiffany Mickelson are community pillars who will be in your corner no matter your legal needs. When you need legal representation, call on the attorneys who support Team Lowco. Call Mickelson Law Firm. Hospice Care of the Lowcountry, the official hospice provider of Loco Sports, and the only not-for-profit hospice in southern Beaufort County. For more than 30 years, the committed, compassionate staff at Hospice Care of the Lowcountry have been there to ensure your loved ones find comfort, honor, and dignity at the end of life. Because at Hospice Care of the Lowcountry, it's not about dying, it's about living. Homegrown Home Inspections, the official home inspectors of Loco Sports. Jan Lucas and his team provide thorough, detailed home inspections aimed to ensure everyone goes into the transaction with open eyes and confidence. Jan would rather reveal an inconvenient truth than look the other way and provide reassurances that could come back to burn the buyer in the long run. If you're looking to buy or sell a home and need an honest, reliable inspector, call on Homegrown Home Inspections, official sponsors of Loco Sports. DDS Web Design, official SEO experts of Loco Sports. If your business or organization has a website and you're trying to figure out what SEO is, you need to call on Denise and Dave Sinkovich at DDS Web Design. They'll provide a free consultation and do all the behind-the-scenes work to boost your search engine optimization and get your website found online so you can take your business to the next level. DDS Web Design, official SEO experts of Loco Sports. American Wood Reface, sustaining sponsors of Loco Sports. Does your kitchen need a facelift? Before you start picking out new cabinets, give Ben and the team at American Wood Reface a shot. They can reface your existing cabinets to overhaul your aesthetic without the hefty price tag and reimagine your kitchen at a price point you can manage. Be sure to tell them Loco sent you because every referral helps support Loco Sports. 4M Metals, sustaining sponsor of Loco Sports. Got metal? Your roof might need it. Metal roofing advantages include better energy efficiency, weather protection, longevity, a more aesthetically pleasing design, and the product is all green. So if you've been thinking about a new roof, go metal. Let 4M Metals be the difference in your roof. Jay's Barbershop. It's the talk of the town and the place to be in Ridgeland. If you need your ears lowered, head over to Jay's for a fresh cut and great conversation with good folks. And tell them Loco sent you. Local Pie, official pizza sponsor of Loco Sports. They sling some of the best pies in the Loco, and my kids say the mac and cheese is the best around. Hungry? Hit up Local Pie, longtime supporter of Loco Sports.
Barefoot Floor Care of the Lowcountry, the official floor cleaners of LowcoSports.com. If your feet tell you your floors need cleaning, call on Barefoot Floor Care of the Lowcountry. They provide residential and commercial services, including cleaning carpet and area rugs, tile and grout, upholstery, curtains and drapes, mattresses, and more. But most importantly, they'll get those floors so clean, your feet will thank them. Barefoot Floor Care of the Lowcountry.
Hilton Head Prep is a sustaining sponsor of Loco Sports, and we tell you all about the Dolphins' athletic exploits. But did you know it's also the #1 ranked private K-12 school in Beaufort County and ranks in the top 2.5% of schools nationwide? Visit hhprep.org to see what Hilton Head Prep has to offer. Beaufort Academy is a sustaining sponsor of Loco Sports, and we love covering the Eagles. With a student-to-faculty ratio of 7-1 and an average class size of 14 students, Beaufort Academy could be just the educational solution you're looking for, with more one-on-one attention. BA has a strong history of working with the whole child to prepare each student for college and life. Check them out at BeaufortAcademy.org. Thank you to all of our sustaining and supporting sponsors for their support of LowcoSports.com. Go Loco!
You there, Wes?
You're back. Yep, back.
All right, we are back. Wes's computer hopefully surviving that spill. Everything okay over there?
Yeah, we're good for now.
All right, good deal. We may have to start a GoFundMe for Wes to get a new computer. It's the hazards of the job. But Wes, we're back with our RBC Heritage Round 2 recap show. And unfortunately, some of our guests had our guests we had lined up had other things come up and have not been able to join us. But we'll continue efforting to get a guest here. And if you want to, get on the show, hit us up, and maybe we can get you that link and get you in here to talk about the Heritage with us. But Wes, you wanted to dive inside the numbers a little bit more, and I do have the Data Golf tournament stats for the event now. I earlier had the round 2 stats inadvertently. Anything that you want to jump into as you look inside the numbers here?
Yeah, I'm pulling up right now the event totals. A lot of impressive totals. Jimmy Walker right now 2.06 in putting, so he's been getting it done around the greens and on the green so far. But a lot to like from him so far, throughout this tournament. So, but.
He's 3.33 shots gained tee to green, which is, exceptional. Schauffele is right there, a little ahead of him, and then Cantlay also in the neighborhood. So, that's a pretty good indicator when you've got the 2 of the top 3 favorites to win the tournament and the leader of the tournament among the top 3 in shots gained tee to green. That's an indicator that that's a very important statistic. And so if you look at the other guys who are right up there in that, Justin Rose, you mentioned him earlier, just a really unflappable player that when he's swinging it well, he's got a shot to win anywhere. Tony Finau has not solved the greens yet, but if he can figure that out, he's hitting it really well tee to green, has not played here, not many times, if ever. And then Victor Hovland also, who was the first day leader. He didn't end up being the first round leader because Aaron Rai took that over with 2 birdies to start his round this morning. But Hovland definitely sticking around in the mix as well.
Yeah, it's going to be a very close finish. We got a bunch of guys who are very, very, very close together at this point, and I'm really excited to see what these numbers are going to be early on, because you got a bunch of guys that I think they're going to come out firing. They're going to, take advantage of the golf course the way it is, and we should be seeing some very, very solid scores right away. So I'm expecting, a close 3rd round. And I think it's all going to come down to what we'll see from Jimmy Walker, how he's going to come out early on his round. Is he going to play more conservatively with a lead? I mean, he hasn't had a lead for a while. So, how is he going to react to the opportunity to break that drought and to potentially come back out on top in a tournament? So, I think when you look at guys who will make that charge, I think, it starts with Patrick Cantlay and Scotty Scheffler. And the thing about Cantlay is if he's the guy who could really break out, in my opinion, you look at what he's been able to do when his putter's been hot. He hasn't had the best the first 2 rounds of playing. If he can get that stroke going, he might be pretty unstoppable the rest of the way as you look towards the weekend. So, I'm pretty excited to see what he can do if he can really put all of the assets of his game together and find a way to come out on top. So he's going to be right there. I expect Scheffler to, I think the fatigue is definitely going to be a factor. Him and Rahm, some of those guys right up there in the Masters. Hovland could be affected as well. So I'm very interested to see how these players approach, the high stakes of this tournament. I mean, you look at the person, it's bigger than what we saw at Masters, which is just pretty insane, pretty crazy. But I mean, I expect things to be very tight. I don't think the three-stroke league is going to be as big as it. But maybe Jimmy Walker can. Maybe he can prove me wrong. Maybe he can find a way to stay hot and continue what he's done. So I do think it's going to be a very close finish. I think some guys, at least one of those 3 right there at 9 under, is going to find a way to make charge. And if not, there's a bunch of strong competitors over there at -8. So it's going to be a war attrition out there as we get towards the last few holes.
Yeah, and I think a key factor is, does Jimmy Walker still have the lead when he gets on the first tee tomorrow? And I'm not certain he will. If the conditions are ripe, you could easily have, somebody like a John Rahm go out and put up 4 or 5 birdies before he even gets up there. I guess that wouldn't be enough to get him in it, but it's very possible that one of these guys could go out and be like Spieth was 4 under through 5 or whatever today. it's very reasonable that somebody who goes off a little bit earlier but is within spitting distance, even a Spieth or a Rahm could make a little noise before Jimmy even gets on the tee, and that may change the thing a little bit. And I think the other thing that changes the spectrum for Walker is he's played these first 2 rounds really easy going, freewheeling, nothing to lose type situation, and now he's you start counting that money and those status points a little bit when you get that 36-hole lead, and suddenly there's a little more pressure there, and you do have something to lose. So whether he's been there before, but whether he can find that place mentally this week is a different story considering the past few years. So, and he's got guys hunting him down who have been there more recently. So definitely going to be an interesting weekend, and it's always interesting at the Heritage. Did you ever hear anything funny today?
Yeah, a couple of funny things that happened throughout the round. One of them, you look at I was watching JT hit and a bunch of in-mid fans, in between shots, and there's some interesting things said. There's some, about anything ranging from his swing to I could use a burrito right now. So a lot of good comments there. And then best one of the day was somebody had a club cover on, the driver cover. It was the red and white shaped like the Harbortown Lighthouse. And someone would say, is that a Where's Waldo on the top of the golf club?
That's probably Fitz, right? Fitzpatrick's got the
Patrick, yeah, it may have been him because it was one of those later guys. But yeah, no, there's always witty remarks from the populace from the gallery over there, as they call it here in Herbertown. But yeah, it's one of the most fun things about this tournament, and it always makes you excited to see what these fans are going to want to say. But yeah, it's definitely be lookout for more of those. But crowd was great once again. Tomorrow is always the big day. It's the Chamber of Commerce Day. Saturday, the Tartan Day, as they call it. So it's going to be a full house over at Harbortown.
Yeah, you're supposed to literally get your plat on tomorrow. If you haven't all week, if you're not a get your plat on every day kind of person, you got to do it on Saturday. That's the big tartan day, and I think they have prizes. And of course, you'll get your picture with Willie and make it on social media and all that fun stuff. So you got to participate. And come on, it's our annual right. The weather is going to be fantastic, best of the week by far. It looks like, and today turned out pretty good, but tomorrow looks even better. Mostly sunny, 84, light winds, not too bad. Actually, I'm looking at Bluffton, so Hilton Head will be a little cooler, but should be just a beautiful day for golf. And we do have the round 3 pin placements here. So let's see if we can make those viewable.
Let's see here, we got the
that's not going to work.
The round 3 tee times as well. Got those.
There we go.
They're going to go.
Yeah. So, I had the tee times pulled up a minute ago, but we've got some pretty good tucked pins here. Wow, we've got some really tucked pins here. We've got one that's 4 paces off on number 3, way on the back. That's going to be an issue. Got one tucked on 5. Oh, I like that one on 5. They've got to play with the bunker to try to go after it. Gonna, make more people try to lay up there. 9's a good one. 9's always fun, no matter where you put the pin. I like 8 right there on the front. You've got a shot for, for somebody running one up there and maybe making a freak eagle on the toughest hole in the golf course. There's some really good pins here.
Yep. Yeah, it's going to be a big test for these guys. And once you get to the weekend, it just, these holes are going to be much tougher. You're going to have to, continue what you've been doing, but it's going to make it to just that extra, a bit more challenging to make sure to hit those shots at pinpoint positions. And that's what makes it fun, especially the greens are so small. It's a shot maker's course, and, it's a, that makes the prestige of winning that so much higher. And once again, I mean, so much credit to Jonathan Wright and that course. They make it pristine every single round. It looked as good as ever today, even with, the rain, the weather, the storms that they had to go through. This course is still in tip-top shape, and Jonathan Wright, one of the best in the business. Not many better than him, and Steve Wilmot and what this tournament directing team continues to do. And so far, this tournament it's lived up to the hype. Some of the best names in the world are showing out, and the attendance once again has been tremendous. Just all in all, a fantastic, well-run event. And this course is as challenging as one as ever. And the pros know that, and that's why they come back to keep playing it.
Yeah, no question. And Jonathan Wright, just tremendous. I was actually over with our buddy Ned Mullis, Butch Mullis, our co-host on the Loco Diamond Dudes. We were over there getting some hacks today, and he was talking about Wright and his team and what a great job they did yesterday. And Mullis was helping them out there. Just all hands on deck, getting that golf course cleaned up and ready for today, filling divots, and it's yeoman's work. They do it after the sun goes down and before it comes up, but they get that golf course looking immaculate. And man, it looks so good on TV right now. It just looks phenomenal. It's really continues to be such a great advertisement for Hilton Head Island and playing golf here when you get to see that on TV every spring. And, we appreciate it from a different perspective because it's a golf course we've been on and around, and we know the history of the tournament, which a lot of folks do. I mean, as we've mentioned before, it's the longest running continuous tournament on the same site on the PGA Tour. So, people have watched it year after year after year and learned that history just like we have, and they get to know those spots on the course. And it's really special for us here in the Low Country to have it continue to thrive and to be able to see these guys come and play. And if you're getting out there tomorrow looking at the tee times, you can see some stars even early. We got Colin Morikawa teeing off at 8:25. You've got some other big names in here. I know that Homa missed the cut. That was unfortunate. Shane Lowry at 9:30. So that's a guy who's played really well here. Ernie Els, how about him making the cut? First cut on the PGA Tour since the 2020 Heritage.
Yeah.
So, he loves it here.
Second win over there. Yeah. Yeah, it's cool to see some of those older players, find success and still playing well out there. Good to see it. Tough didn't go well for Davis Love III, who's of course won it so many times, 5 victories.
He captured some magic in that first round too. He had it going bogey free for 15 holes. That was pretty special.
Yeah, he's a veteran over there, and it's fun to see what he continues to do. And he's a good ambassador for the tournament. He's been there for a while. It's just really cool to see him continue to do well over here and compete and be a good ambassador for the rest of the guys.
Yeah, he's a terrific ambassador. And my recommendation, if you get over there early tomorrow, is walk up 1 and 2 with whatever group's going off the tee. Hang out there by 2 green, which is adjacent to 6 green and 7 tee and 3 tee, and just kind of hang out there for a while. Watch the scoreboard. Watch for birdies and eagles at 2. And then when you see somebody starts making a move, they're going to come back through there at 6 and 7. Follow them up to the clubhouse and just kind of take it from there. And just kind of hang around and see as many golfers as you can. See who's making a move, and then try to follow them for a little bit, because that's the strategy that's always worked well for me. Is just kind of hang out in one place until somebody gets going, and then go find them. And witness something special. So that's my advice for the spectators tomorrow.
Yeah, you never know what you can see. And, I unfortunately wasn't able to catch the big ace from Cantley over there, but you just never know. And it's cool there's a lot more stands, a lot more opportunities to see more things. You got there's a lot more, like they added some stands at 7, they added some stands around the course. There's a lot more opportunities, to catch more of the action. So I think that's kind of cool. And, it makes it exciting to get those different opportunities to see a lot more action.
Another great thing to do on Saturday morning is just go walk as much of the course. Get to those far back places that are hard to get to, take a long time to get to when the crowds get big. Just get out there early, get out to like number 5, number 6, out to 13 and 14. Some of those places you might not want to venture when the crowds start pouring in, and see some of those spots, because they are just beautiful spots on the golf course where you can see some really cool shots. So get out there and check it out. I mean, the Heritage is an incredible event. I'm sure everybody feels the same about their local PGA Tour event, but this one, it's special. It really is. It's a historic place. And when you look at the guys who have won it in the past, there's a lot of history there. So looking forward to some more history this weekend. What are you thinking, Wes, going into the final 2 rounds? Have you amended your pick, or are you still staying true to Cantlay?
I was kind of shaky, but after he got the ace, I think I'm gonna have to stay with him. I mean, you got to ride him at this point, and he's been striking the ball so well. If that putter gets hot, I think he's as good as anyone is likely to find that charge in the weekend and look to avenge last year's loss.
Yeah, I mean, my pick, Cameron Young, sure, I'll stick with him. Yeah, he's going to go shoot 65, 65, and, everybody's going to back up, but not really. I mean, I don't think that's going to happen. If I were picking somebody today, I got to go Scheffler, I think. The fact that he's come in here in his first 2 rounds here, shot 306 under, and the way his game suits the course and vice versa, I feel really good about the way he's playing right now, which means kiss of death, I'm sure, because nobody else that I have said was going to do anything has done anything. And then I certainly wouldn't count out Spieth. He just seems to have a magical way around here. And on Sunday when they tuck the pins and you got to get up and down a bunch, he's really good at it. Especially if he gets in the bunkers. So Scheffler really great around the greens too. So it's going to be a terrific shootout, I think, over the weekend. Tomorrow with the weather being good and the winds fairly light, I think we're going to see a ton of movement. And if you can't shoot, 68, 67, somewhere along there tomorrow, you're going to find yourself in a little bit of a mess. You're going to be fighting uphill on Sunday. So it should be a good time, man.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun Saturday, and a lot that goes into how it's going to happen after what we see these first couple holes, which would be a fantastic weekend. And man, I mean, it's certainly living up to the hype. To see, like I said, Jon Rahm, Jordan Spieth, and Adam Scott walking together in the same group, it just goes to tell you how prestigious and how incredible this tournament has become.
Absolutely. Going to be a great day tomorrow at the RBC Heritage. I'll be coaching baseball in the morning, but definitely checking out the broadcast in the afternoon. And I know you'll be out there soaking in every minute of it. And we'll try to get some of our buddies on tomorrow night to help us break it down. But it's been tough tracking people down. It's a busy week with spring break and Heritage and everything, we understand. But hoping to get some more folks on with us tomorrow to tell us about what they've seen out at the Heritage. If you'd like to jump on with us, hit us on social media and let us know. And we'll make sure we get you the link tomorrow. You can jump in and talk Heritage with us. But that's going to do it for tonight. For Wes Kerr, I'm Justin Jarrett. Thanks so much to our sponsors and to everybody who tuned in tonight to help us recap round 2 of the 2023 RBC Heritage. We'll be back tomorrow to do it again, shooting for 8 p.m. Until then, go Loco.